The weather forecast is good, so today's the day the windows and doors get painted. This project has been lingering far too long, and it's time to put it behind us. I always underestimate the amount of time the preparation for painting takes. Vance got me a drone for my birthday, and I'm using it to get footage of the transformation of the garage door and windows. The garage door has been cleaned, and I've protected the sides of the garage from the paint with plastic. But things didn't go as planned today. It seemed that everything was going wrong, and by the time the prep was done and I was ready to paint, I had water spurting out of the paint sprayer head. It took most of the afternoon to troubleshoot what the problem was, and I discovered that a small plastic gasket that sits inside the spray tip was missing. But luckily, I had just purchased a different size spray tip and was able to use the gasket from it. At this point, it's now late in the afternoon, and that's when the wind starts up, which it did, as you can probably tell by the drone bopping around. I have a love-hate relationship with the paint sprayer, which is likely because I'm inexperienced with it, but it seems to use a lot of paint, and cleanup takes a while. But the amount of time actually painting is far faster than rolling, so I'm still undecided how I feel about it. And as much as I wanted to film the whole process of painting the garage door, it was getting so windy that I just had to go for it and get the paint on as fast as possible. Luckily, it dries fast, so I didn't have to wait long between coats. When it came time for the windows, I gave up on the paint sprayer and decided to use brush and roller. Between the cleaning, prep, and painting, 2 windows took me most of the day, whereas had I used the paint sprayer, the paint application would take a few minutes. I call this method paint therapy, and I needed it. And then what was supposed to be a clear sunny day turned into this. Rained out. But that's life in the Rocky Mountains. Last night we got some much needed rain. It rained most of the night, and it is a hot one this morning. So I finished painting those 2 windows, and I'm just going to let them bake in the sun and get them really nice and dry. And then this evening I'll just take a look over them, and if there's any spots that need touch up, then I'll just do that. And now I'm going to be working on our patio door. And if you've been here for a little while, you might be wondering why we're not using the patio door I originally had and was working on a couple of months ago. And the reason being is that the space that door needs to go into is about 2 inches too narrow. And there were some ways that we could have worked around it to make that door work. What we settled on was notching about 1 inch into the posts and then sliding the door into it. We had an experienced builder come and take a look and see if that would be a possibility, and it would have been fine to do that. But in the meantime, we found a different door. So that's the one I've been working on. I've pulled the kind of like the grids off, and so I've been sanding those down, and I'm going to stain them, and I'm going to be just washing the outside of it and put some paint on it, regrout the windows. It's an older door and it needs a lot more restoration than the other patio door did. So, but the more I work on it, the more it's growing on me. So, and the other reason was I really wanted to use that, the bigger patio door in our bedroom. And had we put that in here, it wasn't going to come back out. Anyway, I am going to take a water break and start working on that patio door. This is what I've got to work with. Ooh, it's bright out here. So that's the first coat. I'm gonna get closer because the wind's probably distorting my voice, but that's first coat, so I'll give it about, I don't know, an hour to really dry off real good, and then I'll put a second coat on. The last coat of paint is done. It's still tacky and hasn't fully dried, but this door is done and I love how it looks. Next is to paint the back side of the cottage panes black and stain the inside, and this door will be finished. Thanks for being here with us. We'll see you again soon.